Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new podcast. Today, I'm with a very, very special guest. If you are from UNAC campus at Medellin, you might have seen him. Hello, Rashad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hello. Nice to be here.
Oh, thanks a lot for taking this time to be with us today.
No problem.
All right. So, Rashad is going to be with us a couple of years in God's will. Well, you have come to do a couple of special things. So, can you just introduce yourself and let us know what
Okay.
you've been doing these days at UNAC campus?
Okay. Um, Hello, everyone. My name is Rashad. I come from a beautiful island called Barbados. I'm here at UNAT to study theology,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm also here to um, not only experience the culture, but at the campus, I will be assisting and teaching English with classes, conversation clubs, and any other activities that we may have to help anyone who is willing to learn English. Yeah,
Okay, sounds wonderful. And of course, we're going to take advantage of that to learn a lot of good English.
indeed.
All right. Well, Rashad, well, you can talk to us a bit more about yourself. I know you are a person who really has that call from God. You've been working a lot on mission, being
Yes.
a missionary. Now you're studying theology. So, can you talk to us a bit more about that call?
Okay. I mission or the mission of the church for me, especially with the young people,
Mm-hmm.
is a special passion of mine. I've always been supportive and very interested in the well-being of the youth in our church. One
Mm-hmm.
way that I do that in a very significant and profound way is through my missionary organization, the ASI Mission 2000 and beyond. We
Mm-hmm.
are a missionary group um, who travels and traverses all across the Inter-American division
Mm-hmm.
to being a group filled with young people, but also with adults as well, because the kids need supervision. But with this group, with mission, it allows young people to utilize their talents, find new talents that they didn't know that they probably had,
Mm-hmm.
and it puts them in the forefront. We often say the youth or the children are our future, but I believe that that time is now. We need to start putting the youth in leadership positions, putting them in the front, letting them lead out from in front, and
Mm-hmm.
let the older ones guide from behind, being their foundation. Um, with being a missionary for 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
um, my passion only grew. And as it relates to my call from God to theology,
Mm-hmm.
it's been something that He's been talking to me about, but I didn't, I was not initially so willing to go. But after my experience here at our last mission trip here in Medellin, Colombia, I prayed a special prayer to God for Him to
Mm-hmm.
answer me in a very specific way if He wants me to study theology here in Colombia, UNAC. On that day, I remember it clearly. The
Mm-hmm.
rain was falling, it was cloudy over the valley above the university, but there was this one clear patch of sky
Mm-hmm.
where I I I I, I made a request. I would say like Gideon from the Bible. I said, Lord, if it is that I'm supposed to study theology, study it here in Medellin at UNA, just make the lightning come down in that one circle. And even before I finished the sentence, the lightning came straight down in the valley. So I was like,
Oh,
well,
wow.
I can't run anymore.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty clear from him. He
Yeah.
wrote in all capital letters, it is time to come. So the following year, which would be this year, 2024, I
Mm-hmm.
am here answering God's call on my life and the purpose that He has for me.
Oh, wow. That was a quick response, and definitely it's a beautiful call,
Hmm.
and a beautiful present to have you also here. And it's also a word of for all of us, right? Like to count on God and to get to know that He answers, right?
Yes.
So, how has it been so far in Colombia? How have you felt? What have you eaten? What have you seen?
Um, the first thing I would say that I enjoy the most is the weather.
Mm-hmm.
The weather in Colombia is nice. In my island, it gets a little hot. A little hot is maybe an understatement, but
Oh.
it gets hot in Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
But here the weather is cool and nice. I enjoy that so far. Um, it's good because because we came last year with ASI Mission 2000 and beyond,
Mm-hmm.
that I remember some of the people that I met last year. So it was good to see them. So the people are still as fun and friendly and warm. Um, I've not gotten the opportunity to try some more local food, but I will be here for a little while. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that the opportunity to try more food will present itself. I've tried arepas, I've
Oh.
tried empanadas, I've tried
Maybe beans and
beans. It's
rice.
a lot of beans, a lot of beans, a lot of rice. I'm trying to remember one. It's a little chocolate-like dessert. Some of the young people were telling me about it. I cannot remember the
Yeah,
panela.
maybe panela, like sugar cane. No?
See, panela. I think that's it. Um, but I'm eager to try some more. I'm eager to
Mm-hmm.
try some more food. I love trying new foods in different cultures. And I would say so far it's the culture too. I'm getting accustomed to certain aspects of the culture.
Yeah.
It's still, a
Can
work
you
in
mention some
progress.
of those ones, like the ones you are just like kind of adapting and just
Um,
being flexible with yourself? What are one of those ones?
okay. So far, I
Mm-hmm.
think here in Colombia, it's an earlier start to the day
Mm-hmm.
from where I'm from. Um, we we would usually start things a little later, maybe 9 o'clock, 8:30, but things start here from 6.
Yeah.
So that's been something I'm trying to adjust to. Um, I've been very busy so far.
Yeah, I don't know if you read that before you came Colombia, but
Yeah.
there is actually a report, a scientific report about that, and Colombians are the ones that wake up the earliest in the world.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay, that's
Now you see
interesting.
it.
That's interesting. Yeah, I see it. Most definitely. I see it indeed. But I've been
Yeah, and before it used to be even worse. Like our
okay.
parents, our grandparents used to get up at 3, 4 and just start working, like start with their day.
Okay.
So before it used to be even worse. Yeah.
Okay. That is very,
It explains
very
it.
interesting. Yes, that explains it indeed.
Yeah. Is there any other aspect you feel you're also like kind of adapting and following?
Um, Spanish?
Oh, yeah.
Spanish, I'm so far enjoying the journey so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just trying to give myself grace and a chance to enjoy the journey and not get
Yeah.
too frustrated with the process. Um, each day I learn new words,
Uh-huh.
but I think other than Spanish, really, it's just a matter of holistically adapting
Mm-hmm.
to different things. You know, the food, the um, because this would be my second degree, but
Mm-hmm.
it is a different university, a different way of doing things, and in a different language. So I have to pace myself and make sure that I still create room to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy my journey here in Colombia.
Yeah, and you've been also busy because you're also teaching at the
Yes.
language center, and you've been also doing other things. So it's definitely a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in this season, we're talking about culture and interculturality,
Okay.
and well, right now we've been like getting to know your experience because
Mm-hmm.
there is also culture shock when you go to a new country.
Mm-hmm.
And there is also something interesting that is called vice culture shock. That is when you come back to your country and then you miss the
Okay.
things that maybe you didn't agree at the very beginning from the country you were visiting.
Okay.
So, what are some culture shocks you've seen? Maybe you were mentioning some, maybe with Spanish. But what are other culture shocks you've seen? Maybe about music or people, and what are those ones you know you will probably miss if you go out of Colombia?
Um, Immediately I know that I will miss the weather in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
I think the culture shock entering Colombia. Um, Everybody speaks one general way with their hands.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's either male, female, kid, adult. Everybody either does this or this. You know, there's similar hand gestures. Um, Everybody always seems to be in such a good mood, and even if they're having a bad day,
Mm-hmm.
they will always say, if you say todo bien, they will say, sí, por la gracia de Dios. Even though you can see that they're physically having a bad day. So I like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that God is still so central, not even in the university alone, but when I travel on the road and you get in the taxis or you interact with the vendors, there's always bendiciones, Dios te bendiga.
Oh yes.
So it's really nice
Mm-hmm.
to see how heavily that God is integrated. Um, Everyone here loves love, you know. Everyone
Yeah.
here is either in a relationship, um, they're they're courting, they're married. Um, this is definitely a country of love. I've been to quite a couple countries so far, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe that Colombians are very open in the way they love. Um,
Yes.
es- Whether that's with relationships or whether that's with friends or with strangers, I think they make it very clear their intentions with their love. Um,
Mm-hmm. What is something you would miss? So we have the weather, maybe that loving
what I would
perspective, that
miss.
welcoming perspective.
I mean, Barbados has some friendly people too.
Uh-huh.
We have some very nice people. What is something that I would miss
Well, what is something you miss from Barbados now?
right now? Um, Besides family and friends,
Mm-hmm.
hmm, something I probably would miss would be food
Mm-hmm.
because it's the food that I know the most. But you know, Other than food, it would just be um, really thinking what it is. I feel as though after this conversation, I'll remember all of the things.
It's okay.
But from Barbados currently, what I'm missing, um, other than family and friends, nothing really. Other than food and being able to interact with my older folk at church or just being in the community
Mm-hmm.
with my young people. Um, it's nothing much because I tend to focus or my intentions are placed with outreach in that I go to look for assists, especially with the missionary work. I like to be outside on the move,
Mm-hmm.
um, helping and looking for people. So maybe missing the visitations of some of the people that I would usually go to visit. Food, family, and friends, and
Okay.
beach. The beach.
Oh,
I almost
wow.
forgot the beach.
Of
Yeah,
course.
the beach. Yeah, the beach. The beach. Beach. Yeah.
All right. Well, what are some tips or advices
Mm,
you can give to someone who is maybe living something similar to what you're living right now? Like, for example, at UNAC, we receive students from all around Colombia and even from different countries.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, usually students and even any person who is listening or watching us now
Mm.
is also in the middle of a change, right? A
Okay.
change of job, a change of studies, of country. So, what is a piece of advice you can give us about that?
What? Uh, take each day at a time. Don't think
Mm-hmm.
too far into the future. Try not to be overwhelmed. As the Bible says, cast all of your cares upon him, for he cares for you. Um, Truly, I would say any transition period, anytime that you're going into a new environment, is probably a good time to lean a little more on God because of so many uncertainties.
Mm-hmm.
For me so far, it's just been staying in the present. God also advised us, leave the worries of tomorrow until tomorrow. Actually, you shouldn't worry at all because tomorrow is in His hands. So just trust that God has you and take each day at a time and give yourself grace. You won't get everything right all at the same time at the beginning. It's a process, it's the journey. Just try to enjoy it as much as possible, but take each day at a time.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, and to finish, I have a last question,
Okay.
which is also linked to this one. Um, what is something or a tip you can give us to maybe be open to that new cultural differences?
Mm, I think you answered the question in your question. To be open. I
Mm-hmm.
think you just um there's a popular saying, no expectations, no disappointments.
Mm-hmm.
If you're entering a new space, go with a willing spirit and an open mind, and then let God just balance and cushion the rest. I don't think it's anything special. I don't think it is anything extra you may need to do. Just maybe an open mind and trust the process. Don't compare too much. Because we
Mm-hmm.
often we would compare, well, this is not like how it is done home, or experience the new place for what it is. So, open mind, willing heart, and just let God guide you as you enjoy your new journey.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
No problem, no problem.
We really, really appreciate it. So I'll see you in our next podcast. Thank you. Bye. Welcome to a new podcast from the Language Center. Today I have a really extraordinary person as
I
my
am.
guest, and he is Fernando. Hi.
Hi. I'm a little nervous because this is the first time ever I'm gonna talk in English in front of any camera, even in the cell phone camera. So it's a little intimidating. I
Okay.
said right? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't worry.
Hi everyone. This is me. I am Fernando.
Okay, maybe you can continue talking to us about yourself.
It's so hard for me to talk about myself, but what else can I say about me? I am from a small city
Mm-hmm.
in a gorgeous, beautiful department or state,
Mm-hmm.
Boyacá. I'm from Boyacá, and I have a mix with a Santanderianos, with a
Oh,
Santander land. So it's very interesting. I'm a social communication and journalist, and I'm working as a producer, TV producer. So this is me, basically.
okay. Well, it's a really
I'm
interesting
single,
version.
I'm free, and I'm very happy.
All right, that's the most important thing. All right.
Yes, I guess so.
Well, Fer, I also know something about you, apart from
About
what
me.
you've said.
Oh my God.
I also know you were at Southern University in Trinidad y
Yes.
Tobago.
Long time ago.
Look at